Thank you for attending the Cannabis Investor Webcast. Our platinum sponsors are Cannabis Science Incorporated, KAYS Holdings Incorporated, Nemus Bioscience Incorporated, Technical 420, Torigo Sciences Incorporated, Pathogen DX, and Mentor Capital Incorporated. Please reserve the date, May 23rd, 2016, for the Cannabis Publicly Traded Companies Investors Analyst Media Conference. The website address is cannainvestorconference.com. Again, that address is CANNA investorconference.com. Our next presentation is KAYS Holdings Incorporated. The speaker is Craig Frank, CEO and President of KAYS Holdings. Craig, give me a couple of seconds to make you a presenter and turn the screen over to you.
Thank you, and good morning to everyone. Good afternoon on the East Coast. We're here in Portland, Oregon. I'd like to share a little bit with you, but I'm very interested in taking questions, so we're going to make this a little shorter this time. I want to begin with something I always like to begin with, which is that KAYS Holdings is the first and still the only publicly traded company to own and operate a vertically integrated legal marijuana entity. We own grow, dispensary. We're beginning to own another asset. We're the only ones traded that actually touch marijuana. All our revenue is generated from the sale of legal marijuana. So to update you a little bit, since we last spoke, we filed both the case, so we are fully remain so. We raised a bit of capital on relatively favorable terms. We did so from an investor that has been since the very beginning. The next is we've further enhanced and continue to enhance the vertical integration. And finally, we've launched an aggressive expansion effort. This is really because the regulations under which we operate are becoming clearer and clearer. So we didn't want to run too far ahead of the regulations. Now that they're becoming more apparent to us, we're more comfortable. As I was saying, we had an issue with regulation. We wanted to make sure that we did not run too far ahead of regulation and speculate too much with regard to where the regulation might ultimately land. And so we slowed our expansion plans a little bit. Those regulations are now becoming much more apparent to us. And so we have picked up the pace again, and we'll be moving forward at a significantly more rapid pace from here on in. Say a little bit about our 420 promotion. It was a lot of fun. The people there, literally a line all the way down the block. It was a lot of fun. 420 is a big celebration by the cannabis community. It actually goes back to 1971 when a group of students used to meet in California, Northern California, at 420 each afternoon to enjoy some marijuana, and somehow or another that caught on at 420, April 20th, became a day of celebration. In 1971, a cost of marijuana cost $5. So what we did on this day was we sold 50 half ounces of marijuana for $5, thus the line going down the block. It was a lot of fun. People enjoyed it. It really established the concept brand as very, very innovative and interested in working with customers. We have forced our image of being very creative. This month, for example, coming up in June, we have Best Friend Day. Last month, we had Red Purple Day. We have a lot of very interesting and fun promotions. And by the way, 420 this year was our highest single day sales. So we are starting to be able to reach out to our customer base and bring them in pretty much every week. On the growth side, we expand both the capacity of the grow and the number of varieties that we grow. We increased the varieties from the last time we presented to an additional 12. So we're up to the mid-40s by now. We rotate them in and out. We are in the process of creating a tiered offering of product so that we can meet both the high end and the low end, as well as the middle shopper, I suppose. And as we do that, we expand the grow. The grow is critically important to us. It allows us to reduce our costs in terms of marijuana, and it will soon allow us to enter into other products as we use the marijuana we grow to serve as our raw material. Here's just 3 of the new brands, new varieties. You can see that we're growing them well. They have excellent sized buds, lots of nice crystals, very high in potency, very attractive to the consumer. Also, these 3 new ones are rather rare in the market. People don't find them all that often, and when they do, they get very, very excited. So this is part of the variety that we're going to grow, where we have just a set of very rare and less available strains. On the store itself, we've expanded the number of products we've offered. We continue with our creative marketing and have begun to do some direct outreach to consumers, and we've made upgrades to the store. What you see in the photo on the left there is the digital screen that we've installed, and it gives the store a much more high-tech kind of look, and it's certainly much easier for the consumer to navigate. We announced yesterday that we're opening the second store. We signed the lease. We submitted the application for the license. This store is going to be what we're calling a Superstore. It's about 1,800 square feet in size. It will allow us to have a clone room. It will allow us to expand on related products. And we have a number of innovations that we're introducing that will be in the KAYS, and we will announce them as we launch them. Competitive advantage that we will reserve announcing as we execute. Here's where the Superstore is. It's in a shopping center. There's a Little Caesars there. There's an Aaron's furniture store there. Over to the side is a Subway, not visible in this photo. It has a very high traffic count on a daily basis, large population with a good median income. It's an excellent location. We're expecting good things from the store. Last time we spoke, we talked about the growth plan. Wanted to update everybody on where we are. So as you can see, the star shows things that are in progress, and the check shows things that we've completed. So open additional stores is in progress. We did apply for that license. We did sign that lease. The grow capabilities have been expanded. We will continue to do that, although we've accomplished everything we hope to for the second quarter already. Innovate the store. We've completed the full innovation of the store. Not only did we put in the screen, we also put in iPads so people can interact and offer reviews of the store on the spot. We've introduced some proprietary brands. We're in the process of doing that now. We do have a brand under development for extracts. We will announce the brand once we complete it. Creating a brand is a process. It requires some research, make sure that the name of the brand and the look of the brand is attractive to our targeted market. And finally, the introduction of proprietary products we have not begun yet. We will soon. We want to introduce the brand and then, of course, the product that goes under that brand. A little bit about our stock. I quote here technical 420 because it's, I think he says something that's an interesting and valid thing for investors to be thinking about. the 5 things that he thinks that investors, potential investors, should be looking at is the company reporting. In our case, yes, it is. What's our structure and how many shares are outstanding? We have a fair amount of shares outstanding, not excessive by any standard. Does the company generate revenue? Yes. Are we executing our plan? Yes. Who makes up the management? Our resumes are available for review, and anybody would like to ask a question about who we are. And finally, the last thing that 420 suggests that we talk about is how has the stock performed over the last month, year, etc. Okay. So if we look at that, let's talk a little bit about where we are as a comparative to other companies in the sector. So what we did was we put out the price, the range over the last 52 weeks, the market cap, and the outstanding shares. So I think it's fair to say, this is, by the way, as of June 2nd, I think it's fair to say that we are extraordinarily undervalued, and we offer an extraordinary opportunity to the investor. Here's the future. We think that we're undervalued, and we think that as we execute on the business plan, the market will have no choice but to begin to respond to our actions and begin to reward us with the valuation that we should probably have today. We're committed to opening a number of additional stores here in Oregon. We're going to be able to take advantage of recreational sales as they come online, which may be as early as this fall. A lot of people are saying it's supposed to be in a year from now. That is the official plan. People who are following things here in Oregon, instead of just saying a lot of things, would know that the Oregon law has decriminalized marijuana as of July 1st of this year. The government has come to understand that being legal by July 1st, but not having access to legal sales for another year would be a disaster. And so they are looking for a way to hasten the ability of existing medical marijuana dispensaries to be able to sell recreational sales earlier than a year from now. And they're talking now about October 1st. That is real, that is possible, that is not definite. Nobody knows. But we are positioning ourselves to be ready for that should that happen. Okay? So once we increase the revenues, which will happen now or soon, the value of the assets are going to increase, and we believe our market value will be so reflected. Okay? So going forward, we're well situated to establish and maintain a leading brand in the legal marijuana industry. We will continue to make announcements as we accomplish things, and we ask that people stay tuned. So I thank you all, and I really prefer to take questions and welcome any questions anyone wishes to ask. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Craig. I can hear you fine, so the sound quality did get much better.
Okay, I hope so.
All right, the first question is, the second license, what are your chances of receiving that license? And what happens if you don't receive that license? What happens with the store?
Well, the lease we sign is always a conditional lease based on our receiving the license. So what would happen is we would not have any obligations going forward. The chances of us not receiving a license is relatively small. I can't say that it doesn't, it's relatively small. We have good relations with the regulating authority. We are in compliance with the store we operate. The lease we put forth and the license we put forth meets all the zoning requirements, and there's no possible or understandable reason why we wouldn't get it.
Next question: what do you consider to be the next catalyst for your company? Is it legislation? What would you see as the next catalyst?
The next what? I'm sorry.
Next catalyst for your company.
The next catalyst?
The next catalyst. What would propel your company? What event?
Oh, what's the next thing to propel them? Well, recreational sales is going to be the catalyst. It's going to be the thing that launches sales and allows for the legal marijuana sector here in Oregon to break away from its reliance on a small market and allow us to enjoy the larger.
And do you say you plan on growing by acquisition and organically? Which one would be the most that you would receive growth by? Is it organically or is it acquisition?
We'll wait and see which opportunities present itself. We will evaluate every opportunity that comes before us. If the acquisition opportunity is a better opportunity than the organic, we'll go that way. The organic is better than the acquisition, we'll go that way. We're committed to growing, and we understand that opportunity stem from both.
And what is some of the criteria for acquisition candidates? What is some of the criteria or metrics would you be looking at for acquisition?
We want to make sure that they have value that is synergetic with our goals, that they propel us quicker than we might be able to be propelled organically into either a market or a segment of the market. Their reputation has to be stellar, and of course the cost of acquisition.
Okay. And the candidates, I guess you would, because you guys are publicly traded and have access to capital markets, any candidates would be acquired through sort of a combination of stock and cash, I guess.
Again, I mean, that would be subject to a negotiation, but that would certainly be part of our thinking.
Okay. What is your estimated revenues on the second store? Could you disclose that?
I can't disclose it because this hasn't opened yet. And we expect the store to perform well.
Okay. All right. Well, that concludes our question and answer section. Any other closing comments?
No, I ask that people give us a fair shake, take a look at what we're accomplishing, and join us.
I think we have. Hold on. I think we got some more questions here.
Okay. I'm not saying my concluding statement again, though.
What's that?
I'm kidding.
You seem to be confident in your business model. Is your business? Well, they just asked you. You seem pretty confident in your business model. I guess that was just a statement. And I guess as a CEO, you should be confident in your business model.
Well, look, we're confident, but we learn from the market. Right? We're not going full ahead with blinders on. We understood the store, for example, needed a more high-techy kind of look. We made the adjustment. We understood that regulations were coming down the pike slower than we anticipated. We slowed. We understood that vertical integration needed to be more of a priority than we initially anticipated. We changed the plan and we went through vertical integration earlier than we had thought we would. So this is a dynamic sector that is changing all the time. Confidence in a plan means also the wisdom to take a look at what's going on and adjust the plan as we go forward. We have fundamentals that we put into place. We're committed to those fundamentals. We're relatively convinced that those fundamentals are correct. As we go forward, we adjust to make sure that we succeed to the best of our ability and to the maximum that we can.
Okay, well that concludes the presentation. That was the last question. We really appreciate you presenting every month, Craig. Our next presentation is at the top of the hour, 2 o'clock. Craig, thank you for presenting. Any closing comments?
Well, just thank you to everybody. We're here. Anybody have any questions, please feel free to contact me.
Well, thank you, Craig. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Be well, everyone.